Yippity-doo!
Woo!
I said a hip, a hippie to the hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop. A rocking to the bang, bang boogie. So up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
You remember that movie when the old lady sang that song?
Wait,
Yeah.
what movie?
Did you guys ever see it? I don't remember what movie
Wedding
she sang.
Singer.
Yeah, Wedding Singer.
Was
I
it
was
Wedding
about to
Singer?
say,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna
Yep.
say I thought so, but I said hip, hop, hippie to the hippie. Like that was the best part.
Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, a podcast that makes your ears bleed good.
Bleed good.
Sure.
Or gold. What do you want? Good or gold?
I think good. I think like if your ears are bleeding, you're like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah.
Or you should go to the doctor immediately.
Well, maybe.
But I mean, you know,
I taste
or just keep listening.
I taste metal. I need to go. Guys, this is the Real Awkward Podcast. My name's Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I know.
And I'm Ashley.
Excellent. Sorry for repeating myself. I don't know what's happening.
Wait,
How
which
dare you.
podcast is this?
This is the Real Awkward Podcast.
Guys, this is the Real Awkward Podcast. I'm Amanda. Let's get serious for a minute.
Can we talk about something serious?
Real Awkward Podcast. 3 friends from Blockbuster go on an adventure.
Can we have an episode where it's literally just 45 minutes of Andy singing a continuous song that he's making up
And then
on the
they
spot?
sit in their room and they talk into microphones. It is so fun because one's away into her home. It is the best podcast you ever did hear. It's the best podcast. We should win an award of the year. It gets so bad. It just starts to get worse.
It reminds me of the Muppets. Or what was that movie with Jason Segel? Oh, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end?
His vampire.
That's like the musical.
One. All right. Hey, Amanda, if they saw the little thumbnail description, they already know what they clicked on and they've regretted it. But what are we doing today? And can you tell everybody what a street cred is all about?
What are we doing now?
Hey, what are we doing? And can you tell everyone what this specific thing is?
Please bail me out. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Abort.
He can't stop.
No, he can't. So we're doing a thing called a street cred. Basically, what a street cred is we pull up somebody's IMDb page. We start our way all the way at the bottom, work our way up to the top. Now we're here.
Now
we
we're
might
here.
We're going to shit on some movies. We're going to like some movies. We're going to not have heard about some movies. If you play
That's
the
for sure.
unofficial drinking game along with this, every time Andy relates a video game to whatever movie we're talking about, you take a shot.
You take a shot. But if you're driving, please refrain until you get home.
Yeah, if you're driving, just, pull over, take the shot, and then continue.
Beerio
Or,
cart.
or if Andy relates a movie to how old he was when it was released.
Yes, that's
Hey,
2 shots.
This is how my frame of reference works, okay? Give me a break, skis.
If Andy asks Ashley for a synopsis, and then after she says it, he simply replies, "Never seen it." That's a shot as well.
If you want to get incredibly wasted, spend 15 minutes on this podcast.
Okay, I'm posting official rules
Okay.
when this episode comes out so people can start playing along.
I love it. I know Jen and Scott, if they listen, they're definitely going to be doing this game.
Oh, they listen.
Oh, I know. Jen listens all the time. Shout out to Jen, by the way. Guys, if you guys like video games, go check out Retro Rivals. It is a gaming YouTube channel like none other. Our friends up in Canada, they've been big supporters of the show for a long time. We love you. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Jen probably listens to this at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so like
She's still drinking. I know Jen. She's drinking. She's drinking at 10.
You know what, girl? Just pour some Baileys in your coffee. You know what?
and keep going.
Nobody
on with
has
it.
to know.
Put
Nobody
Bailey's
has
in
to
a
know.
shoe.
You ever drink Baileys from a shoe?
Say, do you want to love me? You learn to love me. I'm old Greg.
Can
All right, let's move on before Andy and I do old Greg quotes for 50
Oh, wait.
minutes.
We're already at 5 minutes. They've clicked off. It don't matter. Okay, go ahead. What are we doing? Who are we doing?
You,
Live in studio.
Chris Evans.
Chris, get the Chris right because there's 3 of them that are huge.
This is the Evans one.
Okay,
Evans
Chris,
variety.
Chris Evans, otherwise known as.
Chris Evans.
Oh, it's not Christopher Evans.
Johnny Storm.
Oh,
Chris-
don't confuse them.
Jesus Christ, people. Christopher Robert Evans is a generic American actor.
Generic.
It does not say
that.
generic.
It doesn't say
That would be really
His name
funny.
is Christopher Robert Evans. I mean,
Okay.
American actor, film producer, director. Evans began his acting career in typical fashion, performing in school productions and community theater.
Ooh.
He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, the son of Lisa, who worked at the Concord Youth Theater, and G. Robert Evans III, a dentist.
Well, he does have great teeth, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. A dentist.
He's also, his father is half German and half Welsh, English, Scottish, while his mother is half Italian and half Irish.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I'll stop there.
Okay.
I could say more.
That's
I
enough
will
about Chris Evans.
I will refrain.
All right.
Anybody
thanks
that
for listening,
clicked on
everybody.
it just wants to know what his butt looks like.
I
That's
mean, it is
America's
America's
ass.
ass.
That's America's ass, Ash.
Let me get to my list.
Oh, okay.
Now we're just gonna end the episode talking about America's ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like
Okay.
that very much.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Oh, I'm ready.
Do it.
His first credit: biodiversity, wild about life.
Oh, is it like a science educational
I think
film?
so.
I love it.
Next, he was in 8 episodes of a show called Opposite Sex.
Oh, by the way, when did he start acting?
I was gonna say, what time? He was born in 1981.
Okay. Okay. So he's 40.
So
2?
1 second, I gotta
Right
go
now?
back to my list now. His first credit was in 2000. His Opposite Sex was in 2000. So he was 19 years old.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. So he's definitely, I think, this is just a guess. I think he's going to be heartthrob or like cute boy
Yeah.
in like 10 or
sure.
12 films.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
His first movie was called The Newcomers. G-rated.
G-rated. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think I have a single G-rated movie in my collection. Unless it's Disney. That doesn't count.
It was with Kate Bosworth, who we know now
Hey.
has 2 different colored eyes.
There you go.
His next credit is an episode of a show called The Fugitive.
Interesting.
Okay.
He was in an episode of Boston Public.
Hey, I know that one.
He was in Marilyn Manson music video for Tainted Love.
What?
Dang.
Tainted Love.
Yeah. And then he was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Dang. So he wasn't
Yeah.
doing hardly any acting before he did that.
Jumped right in.
Holy moly.
Well, that was when
look at his face.
I mean, he's beautiful. So no, he was the one who came out with like the whipped cream. Like,
Yeah, he had a whipped cream and a banana in his butt.
yes.
Because they were making fun of what film was
Varsity
that?
Blues, right?
Well, yeah, Varsity Blues. Is it Amy Smart in Varsity
I honestly haven't
Blues?
seen it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
'cause it's
I just
the
know
reference.
whichever one the girl came out with whipped cream all over her
Yeah,
boobs.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest, dude. That was unless it was Tara Reid or whatever.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
it's Tara Reid.
I have to say, he for that movie, and maybe it might not hold up today, as maybe it's like dumb slapstick comedy stuff, but he did a really good job for being like one of his first films.
Well, I mean, it allowed him to just play an idiot.
Yeah, right. Because that's what
You
he's supposed to
know?
be, as dumb jock or whatever. I think.
And so I think that must have been an easy, bigger role to start out with because it's like I don't think he had too many lines. He just had to look good.
And
Like,
he just had a Letterman jacket on. I think his name's Jake in the film, probably.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
oh shit.
I don't know how you know that.
Dude, I pulled that one out. I think that was one of those films that like I just cracked up. I just thought it was funny.
Well, it was 2001, so you would have been like,
Oh, right in high school. Yep.
Junior, senior.
It was junior year. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I was playing Shadow of the Colossus.
all right, his next credit was called Eastwick. It's an hour long, so I'm not quite sure what it was.
Like made for
Interesting.
TV movie type of thing.
Maybe.
Okay.
And then his next credit was The Paperboy.
I
don't know what that was either.
I don't think I ever saw that.
He was in an episode of a show called Skin. And then his next movie was The Perfect Score.
Oh, with Scarlett Johansson.
That's right. Where they're like cheating on the test, right? Like they like
It's,
they break in to change the scores or something.
Yeah, they're changing the scores on their SATs or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just sitting here trying to remember the film. I feel like he wasn't the only one in that film. Him and Scarlett Johansson. There was like a couple others that like for the next decade were kind of comedy mainstays.
It's a group of 6, it says.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was Scarlett Johansson, Erica Christensen, Chris Evans, Leonardo Nam, and I don't know who else. Those are the top billed cast.
See, maybe take that back. For some reason, I felt like it was like a ragtag, but that you knew most of them. But maybe they're just familiar looking. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
His next movie is Cellular.
Oh, jeez, I remember Cellular.
What? Okay, I get this one mixed up in my brain a lot with Phone Booth.
Oh, yeah, Phone Booth has
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, he's stuck in it.
Cellular is Jason Statham.
Right. And he's the is he the bad guy in Cellular? Or
I don't know.
Because Jason Statham is the good guy. I think he's just maybe a side character though in Cellular. Or he's like I'm trying to remember how they come together in that film, but I do remember seeing it. Jason Statham was getting pretty hot at the same time too.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I
have either. Was it good?
I thought, it was a fun, like, thriller action movie. So,
all right.
But I don't hate any of Jason Statham's movies except for In the Name of the King. That's the only one I can't really handle.
Where he's wearing sweatpants?
Yeah, everything else is a good popcorn flick. I mean, he was even in the one with Jet Li, and he doesn't play a huge role in it, but...
I don't know. I didn't like what was the Hobbs and Shaw?
Oh, you didn't like that?
I did not like
Interesting. I thought that was just...
It's dumb. It's dumb, but it's...
a buddy...
It was fine
comedy.
one time.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a time in my life where I was obsessed with The One.
Oh, dude, that was such a good movie.
I watched it so many times. It's essentially just Highlander, but
you're right.
The hold it had on me as a child. I literally was like, I could watch these guys do shit all day long. But I was like upset. I was weirdly obsessed with Jackie Chan so much when I was a kid. So I'm not shocked that like Jet Li comes along and I was like, the new Jackie Chan.
Dude, no, you're right. Because Jet Li had like a different style that people were into, but also they were pushing the graphics in that film a lot as well. Like I remember they were doing like bullet time and like cool fun stuff.
Do you remember the Jet Li video game?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
I played the shit out of that game.
What was that called?
I don't remember, but your action was used by flicking the right stick.
Yeah.
So like you kicked and you would punch it by like flicking the stick, and it was difficult.
Dang. That's crazy.
Look at me being an Andy relating to a video
you.
game.
Flick the stick.
So Amanda, Cellular, to get back to that, Kim Basinger, she's basically like on the phone with, I think, Jason Statham's character or Chris Evans' character, and they're trying to help her through like a kidnapping or something like that. It's something crazy like that. So that's where the drama happens. But anyway, I look at the front cover and like Chris Evans is like running down the road on the phone. So I feel like
he was the kidnapped.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know.
He seems a little old to be kidnapped.
No, I don't think it was. Maybe somebody wasn't kidnapped. Maybe it was ransom. It feels like it's always ransom.
No, it was a kidnapping based on the synopsis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the video game was called Jet Li Rise to Honor.
Oh, that's right. Rise to Honor. Yep, I do remember that.
My PlayStation 2 played a lot of that game, girl.
In fact, it's still in there to this day.
In fact, I played it earlier.
How did we get to Jet Li? Oh, because we talked about Jason Statham, the one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Cellular, Chris Evans, I mean, aside from a Not Another Teen Movie, who he was kind of in a main role in that one, he still hasn't mainlined a film, right?
Sure. I mean, I guess The Perfect Score, he was part of like the
him
main
and Scarlett
cast.
Johansson are basically like the big names in that one.
So his next movie is called Fierce People.
I did not see that film.
Do you want to?
I've never even
No,
heard
I'm
of
just surprised because I feel like in this era I would have seen a lot of stuff back then, but
Do you want to hear the synopsis?
Sure.
shit, you're already there. Do it.
A massage therapist looking to overcome her addictions and reconnect with her son, whose father is an anthropologist in South America studying the Yanomami people, moves in with a wealthy ex-client in New Jersey.
Dude, this must have been
What?
one he signed on for like early, and they held on to it. Or
That
he just has a
sounds
small
bad.
role. I don't know.
No. All right, next he did a little movie called Fantastic Four.
Oh, Johnny
girl.
Storm.
Hate me if you want. I kind of love these movies.
Those are like guilty pleasures. I feel
Yes.
like they're just hokey enough, but still fun. Like I rewatched it again, and the first one I don't think is that bad, and I like
No.
the banter between Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm. Like that's cool.
Honestly, I think the first one's actually like it's obviously corny and it
Yeah.
obviously has issues, but I think the first one's like halfway decent. He makes an okay Johnny Storm.
He's not a bad Johnny Storm. He's supposed to be that like hothead, cocky.
Yeah, and I think they call him a hothead
Yeah,
in the
they
movie.
do.
I think that some of the casting choices were great. Ian Gruffold as Reed Richards, I think, was
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that Julian McMahon as Doctor Doom was perfect.
Yeah.
I think that Michael Chiklis as pre-Rock Ben Grimm was fine. He
it
looked
was okay.
like him.
Yeah, he was just supposed to be his like muscle.
He was unfortunately just like totally overshadowed by how stupid his costume
They
looked. And
fuckered
his-
up the thing's
and his
costume,
teeth,
dude.
His
Yeah.
teeth looked like chiclets.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't
they
handle
looked
Michael
awful.
Chiclets. Yeah.
Yes. And so and then I think Jessica Alba was the wrong choice.
Jessica
for Sue
Alba
Storm.
actually is not a great actress in general.
Yeah.
I think she's been in some fun stuff. I think that people support her well in some
Yeah.
of the films that have been good, but overall she's kind of one-dimensional as an
Yeah.
actress. So, okay. So yeah, fantastic. I mean, we're gonna say Chris Evans. Like, we're gonna say that's
Banger.
a winner. That's a winner. We like Fantastic Four.
All right, what about the video game?
I own it and I still haven't played it, and I don't know why. I have it on GameCube. It's probably garbage, to be honest.
Probably. His next credit is London with Jason Statham.
Oh, I remember.
serious?
That. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that one as well.
I don't think I
feel
ever
like there
saw
was a lot
this.
of drug use in this movie.
Yeah, and it's like, isn't it a crime drama as well a little bit, or like,
Yeah.
or like dark underworld type of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then he was the voice of Casey in TMNT.
Yes,
Oh,
I knew
snap.
that.
Okay, like the Nickelodeon reboot, that one.
No, the movie with like Patrick Stewart.
This one.
Oh, the animated. Why
Yes,
I said that funny.
the animated.
The animated.
The animated. I actually didn't mind that film. And he plays Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I love it. That actually, I love that film because sorry, Chris Evans, this has nothing to do with you. It shows that Raph is a better fighter than Leonardo, which is true.
You should call him Wrath.
Raph. He also has wrath. He's very upset.
No, I think that
They are the four horsemen.
movie. I think that movie's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it for some reason like people don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I think that it really kind of put Turtles into a newer generation
Agreed.
because after that it was like you started seeing a lot more cartoons and stuff of like obviously the newer versions of the Turtles.
Yeah, it was like
But-
it lit the fire.
Yeah, but I think that movie's good. Lincoln and I have watched it a few times because I like it, and I will say that like compared to the ones that they made a few years later with Megan Fox and stuff, I think that this Ninja Turtles is like exponentially better.
If I was going to rank them, I would say the first Ninja Turtles, the live action 1990.
Okay,
Then
I'm
number
not
two-
talking about those ones.
No, but I'm saying number 1, number 2, and then I would put TMNT as the third. Because
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think if you haven't seen it, you should watch that film.
I'm sorry. Turtles in Time is a classic.
Oh God, no, it's not. It's garbage.
They're awesome samurais.
Oh, it's terrible, dude. The guys the people who have never done costumes in their entire life created the costumes, and
Okay,
they're
fine, I'll
garbage.
give you that. I'll
They
give
are
you that.
Ass.
I don't even watch
And
those
they
movies,
shave
and I agree.
April's hair.
Okay, yeah, fine. I'll give you that one too.
They give her like a butch cut, and it's not even like her cool classic Ugly Bob or whatever she had.
I just thought that the Turtles of Samurais, as a kid, I thought that was so cool.
No. I think as a kid, people would love it. But if you rewatch it back today, I don't think it holds a candle to the first two films.
No, I mean, for me, like watching it, I remember it's got the nostalgia filter for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you compare them all equally, it doesn't add up. But as we've recently found out, I was obsessed with Kung Fu when I was a child. So the Turtles being samurais, I thought was the coolest shit on the planet.
I will not disagree with you that I bet people loved it. I did have the soundtrack and listened to it like on repeat, and it's not good. But I thought it was when I was a kid. I thought it was dope. But Chris Evans, who we're talking about in Ninja Turtles, I think that's cool for him to have a role as Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I think so far he gets to be a cool character, Johnny Storm. He gets to be a cool character, Casey Jones, already. And he's only done 7 films total in his career.
Also, fun fact in this TMNT movie, Mikey was voiced by a guy named Mikey.
Oh, fun fact.
Fun fact. His next credit is called Sunshine.
Is that the movie where they go into space?
Yeah, to reignite the dying sun.
That movie's awesome. That movie's awesome. Yes.
Did that come out the same time as the one with Aaron Eckhart where they have to reignite the center of the earth? Yeah.
Yes. I think similar. I think Sunshine's got Cillian Murphy, however you want to pronounce it.
We like him.
Legitimately, if you haven't watched this movie, it's really good. It's really
I've
good.
never even heard of it, but it has a 7.2.
Can I see the front cover of it?
Yeah. I mean,
what year?
2000.
Oh, yeah. 2000.
It's got a ton of people. It's got a ton of people.
Oh, we're literally at Blockbuster at this time in 2007.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one that I used to tell. That was one of people used to kind of always be but I would always watch the indie movies. And that was one that I would tell people don't judge it by the cover. It's really good. If I remember correctly, it's got Mark Strong in it. It's got Wong from freaking Doctor Strange. It's got Michelle Yeoh.
Dude, that's a banger cast.
It's so good. It's so good.
I probably watched it back when the Blockbuster days, but I've forgotten about it. Are they all astronauts? They all have to go on the mission type of deal? Okay, got it. Scientists or whatever to reignite the sun. That's the synopsis?
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's like a thriller.
Pretty much.
Okay. Haven't seen it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sci-fi thriller. Yeah. Next, he did Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, shit. Now, wait. I will say, Chris Evans' role in that film is still good. He is...
he plays a good Johnny Storm.
Yeah, and he has to go chase down Silver Surfer. And I remember the line, he's chasing him down, and then Silver Surfer moves from his surfboard from a standing position and then
underneath.
Floats through and goes reverse. And he's like, oh, that's cool, is what his character says, is how he responds to him. But then they have that weird thing where he transforms into the Thing.
He's half Johnny Storm, half Thing.
Yes, it was, and he looks goofy.
He looked awful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was I genuinely didn't think that the Ben Grid costume could get any worse.
And then you put it on Johnny Storm and it gets really bad.
Listeners, if you've never seen this movie, if you Google Johnny Storm Thing, it's awful.
It's really terrible.
They kept his weird hair on top.
Yeah, I didn't understand the choice. Because, the
awful.
fact that he's not fully, he's a little bit. And then Michael Chiklis, loses all of his clothes. They're hanging on him, and he can, have fire. And he starts throwing fireballs at Johnny Storm's face. It's so Hoke, dude. It's... The first one is guilty pleasure. The second one is, just guilty.
Well...
yeah.
Yes, and you can definitely tell that they were trying to start something because they introduced Galactus, they introduced all this other stuff, and so I think that they're trying to do all this stuff in this movie, and it just doesn't work. No, and so
Jessica
end up
Alba's
with
acting gets worse in this one.
Oh my God, her wig is worse, and they gave her really hard. Solid looking blue contacts to try and make her look naturally blonde.
Oh, they're too blue. They look awkward. Yeah.
She looks like she has glass eyes.
Unfortunately,
they look fake.
I would say unfortunately and fortunately, because unfortunately he was in this movie, but fortunately he proved that he could be a superhero. which
Yeah.
like sets him up for success way later in his career. Well, maybe not
Yeah.
even way later. This might be sooner than I think when some bangers come up. But
Yeah, I don't think it's as far off as you think.
yeah,
All right.
continue.
Next, he was in The Nanny Diaries.
I remember that
as
movie.
Harvard hottie.
Ah,
Oh, really?
that was another
remember-
blockbuster one.
Doesn't
sitting
even
on
get
the
a name
shelf.
in that one.
Was that Scarlett Johansson as well?
Yeah, it was.
Interesting.
It's like, hey, you remember when we did the perfect score? Let's do another one together.
And I'll just be the Harvard hottie.
And that's what I'll do.
Next, he was a voice in Battle for Terra.
Oh, that sounds familiar too.
Oh, it's like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
You probably recognize the cover from Blockbuster.
sure do. Yep.
Yep.
That looks
Is it
like,
like
a B movie though.
Is it like kind of greenish yellow with like a spaceship? Like
it's like
with the
it looks like a
spaceship-
top. The spaceship looks like a floating
like a-
top. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a
Yep.
plus sign or something.
Yep. You
Yep.
bet. Yep.
Blockbuster.
Next, he did Street Kings.
Oh,
we
I never
talked
saw
about
that.
this in another street cred, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, someone else in that with him.
Keanu Reeves.
No,
Forrest
he's by
Whitaker,
himself.
Hugh Laurie, Cedric the
We talked about
Entertainer,
it in the Keanu Reeves
Jay
episode.
Moore, Terry Crews.
Oh yeah, you're right. We would have
Common.
talked about it in the Keanu Reeves episode. I know kung fu.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
Amanda likes kung fu.
I do.
Next, he did The Loss of a Teardrop Diamond.
Oh, that
What?
sounds like a skippable movie for me.
That sounds like a mystery.
It's a drama romance.
Yeah, it sounds
Oh,
like a
no,
like
thank
a
you.
romance.
Sounds boring. He was in an episode of Robot Chicken. And then
Yeah.
he did, Push.
Oh, where he's a superhero
Oh,
as well, right?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I liked that movie.
Now, did Push come out the same time as Jumper? Like, I feel like they were literally
Yes.
the exact
I
same.
think so.
Like they
Yeah.
were competing for let's be original with what our superheroes can do. Because what was he able to do? Just like have kinetic powers?
They had like a force push ability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And then Jumper, you could teleport.
yeah.
Like those were the
Yeah.
two qualities.
I feel like, shoot. I just lost my list.
Who
I
was
feel
in
like,
Who was in Push with him?
Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, okay. He's like protecting her.
I think so. I
Yeah.
feel like it came out around a similar time as Limitless.
Oh, but
Remember
that's a
that?
different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, it's a different movie.
No, I'm just saying. No, I just mean
It's
it
the
wasn't.
same.
It wasn't a superhero movie. It was Bradley Cooper being able to unlock his mind.
I think there was a
yeah,
lot
but
of
it had a similar feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think for like 3 years, there was a ton of movies pumped out that were the same kind of like vibe as like Push, Jumper, even Limitless,
Yeah,
where like
yeah.
the whole movie was kind of like a sepia tone.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
Yeah.
like they all were like normal people who had something just a little different, and now there's a bad guy after them. And
that's
they
actually the
happen
exact
they happen to
story.
fall in love on the way. And like there was like that movie forever.
Yeah, you're right. Amanda, you could have been a writer back in the day.
Got this idea for a movie. Sepia tone.
I just love how simple it is. What's his power? Well, he can push things. Let's call it
He's
push.
a little different.
Yeah.
What's the guy's power? Oh, he can jump things. Let's call it jumper. What's the guy's power? He can open his brain to limitless things. Let's call it limitless.
This guy has a dog. Let's call it dog.
Let's call it dog. This guy's a Terminator.
Well,
Let's call
and-
it.
Well, and then like now there's like dog, and then there was ambulance, and then there was
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah, just the single
Yeah.
name bullshit.
Dude, she's like, hits you right there. His next movie was The Losers.
Oh,
Ooh, banger!
that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, right?
Yeah.
They're all
I like that
like
one. He's-
misfits.
Yeah.
Isn't he kind of like a nerd? Doesn't he have like a flat top in this one or something?
I think you're right. I think he's like the tech advisor in this one or something like that. Something similar.
Yeah.
But also, this is literally the Suicide Squad before the Suicide Squad was created.
Yes. Well,
That's
it's
fair.
after. It's a graphic novel. This is, if you listen to our Zoe Zeldana episode, you would have heard us talk about this movie. But if you haven't listened to that, go listen to it. That's a good one.
Bang.
Yeah. Next, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one of the
Banger.
Is it 7 boyfriends or 11 boyfriends? What is it? 7 exes?
7 Deadly X's.
Yeah, that he has to fight. I forget.
Yeah, seven evil X's.
Evil exes. What is Chris Evans? Is he like a jock in that
He's
one?
I think he's number 5 or
Yeah.
3, but he's like a movie star, like he's like a famous skateboarder turned movie star.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And
That's awesome.
that movie's so cool. Like,
that movie's like, it's a cult classic now.
yeah, I mean, if you've never seen it, I think it's worth watching. It's got a really amazing soundtrack. The visuals in the movie are really cool. It was again after a graphic novel. But the thing that I like the most about the movie is every time that Scott has to fight one of the evil X's, whatever number evil X that was is like all over the scene in very small ways.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's pretty cool. I like that aesthetic.
That movie has a ton of actors in it. Brie Larson's in it. Zachary Quinto's in it.
Yep, you're right.
April, Aubrey Plaza's in it. April Ludgate.
Yeah.
No, that movie's really good.
Oh, yeah. Aubrey Plaza, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one, also the visuals are incredible.
Oh,
Like,
amazing.
Yeah. Now, the only person I absolutely hate is Michael Cera in that
I know.
movie. I dislike that guy.
But
a
at
lot.
least the movie makes him not likable.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. But every single movie he's in, he has that. Him and Jesse Eisenberg are literally their acting style I can't stand. They're like pompous, like,
Jesse Eisenberg has a very punchable face.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see myself punching him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. His next movie is called Puncture.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. It has a similar rating to Captain America, so I'm curious.
Interesting.
David and Goliath law drama about a drug-addicted lawyer who takes on a health supply corporation while battling his own personal demons.
Okay.
Whoa.
It's a heavy drama.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
Cool.
Then he did Captain America, The First Avenger.
Dang, I didn't realize that was there, but also that movie was 12 years ago or something like that. Right?
What year was it, Ash?
2011.
So,
Damn.
yeah, that's
Damn.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of Amanda's favorite Marvel films, isn't it?
Correct. I'm a pretty big Captain America fan, but just like even before the movies. But I love that movie. I think it's done really well. I love the Red Skull. I think he's such a visually cool bad guy.
No, he is. I agree.
And you know, everybody wants the Nazis to lose, so it's perfect.
I've punched Hitler in the face over 100 times.
And I honestly, I think that movie especially does a really cool job of, yes, it's a superhero movie, but it's a really decent war movie. Like,
I would say that it felt to me more like a war movie than it did a superhero movie.
yeah, I mean,
So, and I know Captain America's origin because I'm just like you. I love the comics. I love the character back in the day.
Yeah.
I actually was really critical of this film when it came out because I disliked Captain America's costume and I disliked that they had him use a gun for a lot of
fair
it,
enough.
right?
But
Yeah.
he does use a gun sometimes. Like
No,
back when
I
he
know.
was a
Like
soldier.
in the comics and stuff. No, it's there. It's like it's a callback to some of the early like
Yeah.
40s, 50s stuff. But
Honestly, for me, the thing that I did not care for, even though it's very well done, I did not care for the digital changes to his body,
okay.
like where he's scrawny.
I think that's really hard knowing Chris Evans already to kind of get into.
Well, it's awkward because his head looks too big for his
No,
Yeah, he looks
literally
like a bobblehead.
He looks like an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that for me, I'm really critical of the digital de-aging. So just
Sure.
in general, I don't like that.
Right.
That being said, it would have made it too hard to try and find a body double that looked just like him.
Absolutely.
So I get it. But
Yeah.
I love that movie. I think that a lot of superhero movies really have to trudge through the origin story, and it feels way too long and way too much. And literally his origin story is the first half of the movie.
Well, and what's
But-
great is you have a bunch of supporting actors through that first half of the movie that are
Yes.
amazing. Stanley Tucci's in that. Tommy Lee
Tommy
Jones is in that.
Haley Atwell.
Yep.
It doesn't feel too bulky.
No, it's not too
Like-
bad. And obviously you get introduced to Bucky Barnes in the beginning
Yes.
and stuff too.
And then you get to understand who like Steve Rogers is before he becomes Captain America. So you understand the choices that he makes a little differently.
Now when I said I was critical though, Chris Evans casting, I was scared because all I thought about him was Johnny Storm.
Yes.
So I was just like, oh no, he's pompous and he's like, a jock and like,
and
kind
you're
of
also
annoying.
probably at the time you're probably also thinking of not another teen movie.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely. And I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking of Push at all, but he nailed it. There is no denying that he's our Captain America. Like
He's great.
He's synonymous.
yeah.
Like
At this point, like I know they've changed the mantle over to Anthony Mackie, but like at this point, like Chris Evans and Captain America is like the same breath when you think about it from a
Yeah.
cinematic standpoint. So
I think especially at the beginning, like, because was Captain America? No, because I think Thor was before Captain America.
I think
But-
it was Iron Man, then Thor, then Captain America.
But I mean, honestly, the three of them, like, if you think of Tony Stark, you see Robert Downey Jr.
absolutely.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
if
yeah.
you think of Thor,
Yep.
for the most part, you
You
see
s-
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, you do. You're
Like,
right. You're right.
And I think that the really early casting was dead on. Like, I think that they were so right
Mm-hmm.
with the people they chose, even if it didn't seem right at the time.
Yeah, you're
like-
right. I agree with you.
I really thought it was good. And then it's too bad that it really didn't take off. But Haley Atwell as Agent Carter, I was
yeah.
a huge fan.
Yeah.
I
like her
the
a
Agent
lot.
Carter TV show really didn't get supported enough by Disney, but it was ABC at the time.
Sure.
So her as Agent Carter, she had a 2-season spinoff of where basically she's working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but she's like an undercover secret agent where they just think she's a secretary.
oh,
like-
sure. Right.
Like
right.
they know she's an agent, but they treat her like she's a secretary. So she's doing stuff with Howard Stark.
Yeah. No, they
and
did. They
that's-
did all of that casting perfectly. Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans went immediately from like kind of like mediocre actor. Like he's okay. Like no one was probably a huge Chris Evans fan back then, right? I mean, you probably liked some of his stuff, but when it hit to the Captain America stuff, it was like, oh damn, dude, this guy is legit top 10 actor going forward.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. obviously had a career before Iron Man, but like nobody, I think in the United States, rarely had heard of Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, sure. Nope. You're
So
right.
yeah.
and
You're
like
right. Yep.
if you didn't watch a lot of kind of teen stuff, you'd probably never even seen Chris Evans' face before.
I bet when he was getting cast for this film, I bet he was scared. I bet he was like, shit, dude, if I sign on for this and I've already done a superhero movie and it's a shit show, I'm dead in the water if this
Yeah.
doesn't work. Because he's like, I'm coming off Fantastic Four, which is what people know me for, Silver Surfer, which was dog shit. So he's like, if this doesn't go well, could be bad.
Well, and they had showed you that they could make a good superhero movie,
right.
and they had showed you that they could make a bunch of shitty ones.
This is fair.
And
This
so-
is fair.
I imagine it was kind of like a 50-50 chance that it was going to be a hit or not.
Damn. We still have 10 years of movies too, right, Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's burn them.
All
Turn
right. So
and burn
next
them.
he did "What's Your Number." It was,
I've never heard of that.
rom-com with Anna Faris.
I bet we put it in.
I think I saw it.
I bet
She
we
was
tried to
like,
watch it.
She was like going through all of her old exes to see if like maybe she missed an opportunity or something with one of them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then he did The Avengers.
What is that?
He was Steve Rogers / Captain America.
Okay. First ensemble superhero movie that worked, and you could clearly tell that there was a fight for leadership between Captain America and Iron Man, and it went through that entire story, which was awesome. But I think Chris
mean-
Evans did an amazing job, like owning that he's supposed to be the leader of the Avengers.
I mean, we've talked about these movies at length, so I'll
Absolutely.
not go too much longer.
Yeah.
That movie had such high expectations, and I personally feel that it delivered on every single one.
Yeah. The only thing, Captain America's costume is stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
It
obviously,
doesn't
like there's
work. The comic
No.
accurate, because it's comic accurate, but it looks silly on him. Yeah.
I think that there are things that I don't think it's a perfect movie, but I think that like when you heard about this huge ambitious thing that they were doing,
Yeah.
you were like, it's never gonna work.
Sure.
And then for them to make a movie that was really good and made obviously an insane amount of money. Like it's amazing. Come on. It's Avengers. It's amazing.
No, it's epic, and Chris Evans deserves all the credit for bringing that character to life. And I know he's got more that we're going to talk about, but Avengers was like, if Captain America, the first Avenger, like put him on the board, this one's like, dude, he's on the marquee now. Like,
well, and now, you know, there's a lot of hate on superhero movies about how they're not real cinema and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit and pretend like they are thought-provoking films.
Sure. He's no Christopher Nolan. I get it.
No, but I think that there is a place in movies for a popcorn flick. And these are the epitome of a popcorn flick.
Yep.
They're fun. There's explosions. They're funny. They're great.
I agree.
Next, he did The Iceman.
I've
never heard of that.
Remember that one?
It's about a contract killer.
I mean, he started to do a lot more action stuff after this too.
Yeah.
I think.
It's
Who
rated
else is in that?
I don't know. Let's see. Michael Shannon.
Oh, dude, Zod.
James Franco.
Zod?
Winona Ryder. Ray Liotta. David Schwimmer.
Ooh, dang.
Yeah.
Was it called The Iceman?
The Iceman. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Next, he did Snowpiercer.
Oh, it's so
banger.
good. So good. And lots of people still haven't seen that movie yet. Legit.
Yeah, dude.
There's still a lot of people who have not seen that freaking movie. It's so good.
This along with Sunshine, so now everybody has to watch both. If you have not seen Snowpiercer, it's so good. This is a movie that makes you think. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's post-apocalyptic, blah, blah, blah. And it's the idea that the rich people live in the front of they're on a train, essentially. The rich people live in the front of the train. The poor people live in the back of the train and keep it running.
Yeah, and that's all of civilization. They're all on this train.
Everybody else in the world is dead.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's bleak. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Who's in this film, by the way? Because I feel like we've talked about it once before on a different street cred.
Tilda Swinton's in it.
Yeah.
Ed Harris is in it.
Okay. I don't know how it got brought up, but I feel like we've talked about it before on a different one, but maybe I'm wrong.
I know I talk about it a lot, but it is done by the same guy who did The Host and Parasite. So it's got a couple of those people in it.
Yeah, maybe that's why we were talking about it. Maybe we were just talking about Academy Award winners or something.
But there is also a theory online that this is the sequel. This is like the unofficial sequel to Willy Wonka.
Okay.
If you are somebody who's seen this movie and you find that weird, there's a ton of YouTube videos about it. It is a down the rabbit hole kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
But they lay some things out that make some sense.
Interesting. I think Chris Evans was the main character, though, right? In this one, like he starts at the back of the train as the poor and goes all the way up to like finish the story. Yeah.
Yes.
Great though, and his performance in this really shows me that he could do more than just the superhero stuff. Like I felt like there was a really good, like there's some action stuff in here and whatever, but like the as Amanda was describing, kind of dark and drama, like he was good at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Next, he was technically in Thor: The Dark World, but as Loki is Captain America.
Oh, that's right, because he he uses that.
Yeah.
Real fast, right?
And then he did Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Best movie. So if Amanda's was Captain America: First Avenger, my favorite is Captain America: Winter Soldier. It is not even a superhero film. It's like a spy espionage movie with superheroes in it. And Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson actually do an incredible job in this film.
This is the one where they meet Edmund Zola as the computer, right?
Yep. And they also, obviously, with Winter Soldier being the main villain, it was freaking rad. It was awesome. Yeah. Everything about that film is great. The Russo brothers take over for the first time. And Chris Evans, I think, was able to really show what Captain America can do in this film. Because in the first one, he's learning, you know what I mean? Like he's learning his moves and learning his sets and stuff with the shield. But in the second one, oh my God, the beginning of the film, like the way he's able to use the shield and like take out the whole water carrier and stuff is incredible. It's so good, dude. Chris Evans at this point had to be making millions and millions of dollars. Like, I can't even imagine what he was bringing in.
A lot of the Marvel movies from this point, I think I've only seen like once or twice. I think I've seen Winter Soldier twice. I know I've only seen Age of Ultron like once. So I'm going to have to watch those again because they're not ones that I am quick to rewatch. But I remember thinking Winter Soldier was really good.
No, Winter Soldier is it's my number one movie in the entire series, barring Infinity War and Endgame. But like, it's so good.
Next, he did Before We Go with Alice Eve. It's kind of a dramatic romance.
Yeah. I feel like he jumped between. He was like, I'm doing the superhero stuff. Now I'm going to go into like the character driven romance stuff.
Yeah. So I feel like I saw it. I don't recall the details, but next he did Playing It Cool with Michelle Monaghan.
I've never heard of it, but
no, I've probably.
Is it like a rom-com?
I don't think I've seen that. It looks like it.
Yeah, it's a rom-com. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her.
I don't think I saw
as
this
an
one.
actress too.
The cover looks so generic. Like there's nothing like intriguing about it at all. I don't know.
It is really bad. It honestly, it looks like they produced it later.
Yeah. Okay. Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Got it. And he's just literally in the ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing standout about that one with him. So.
Next, he was uncredited in in Ant-Man.
Really
Interesting.
As Steve Rogers.
I don't
know. We just watched that. What was?
Does he?
I'm trying to remember.
Does he meet him at the end? Is that what it is? Because
I don't
know. Anthony Mackie and him fight at the facility. Ant-Man
Yeah.
and Falcon fight. So I wonder if he shows up at end credit or something like that.
Or I wonder if it's like Spider-Man where he's like on a video or he's
you know what? Maybe that is what it is. Isn't Captain America like talking in the high school with Spider-Man, like doing like a educational thing?
Yeah, it's like a PE class one. So I'm thinking, I'm willing to imagine it's something like that. I'm just gonna have to watch Ant-Man again.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
Then Captain America: Civil War.
I just rewatched that too with Remy or Cammy or somebody. It's so good. But that one's really good because there's a lot of drama in that one. Like I think Chris Evans portrays a really good, like, you know, because his goal is to defy. He's Captain America. He's supposed to support the government. And in this one, he's against the Accords, where Iron Man is for them. And so Chris Evans plays a really good
Who's the bad guy
role.
in this one?
He's Zemo in this one.
That's right.
Because he's basically pulling the strings to get Iron Man and Captain America to fight each other. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then this is where they introduce Spider-Man into the MCU.
And Black Panther.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep. You get both of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you get to see Giant Man.
Under roofs.
All right, his next credit is Gifted.
Oh, shoot. Is that also with Dakota Fanning?
No, this is with, what's her name? McKenna Grace.
I don't
That little girl
her.
plays the young version of every female actress.
Yeah.
Is that the one where she has like music skills or something?
She's just like a prodigy.
Okay.
It says a single man raising his child prodigy niece is drawn into a custody battle with his mother.
Gotcha.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, cool.
I feel like I saw it. It was pretty good. Next was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, which we just talked about,
in the
his
video.
cameo. Yep.
And then
Banger.
Avengers: Infinity War.
Yep.
Banger.
And then Captain Marvel. He was uncredited.
Hmm.
Another Steve Rogers.
Interesting. I don't remember.
Avengers: Endgame.
I have to say, Chris Evans got the opportunity to say the line in Endgame.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The theater just went wild. And like he gets that. He gets that wonderful like gem in his life that he's like, I got to break the audience. Do you remember that? So in the comics, Captain always says, hey, like, Avengers assemble. Avengers
Hey,
assemble.
guys.
Like, hey, guys, can we get together?
Hey. Captain America always says,
but
hey.
What's funny is he teases it a couple times in the other films before he finally says it, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so when he gets Thor's hammer and he like has everybody behind him and he says it, I remember just being like, no way. I loved it.
I mean,
Good job,
honestly,
Chris. Good job.
Honestly, that in Endgame, like, satisfied all the payoffs you've been working towards
it really
in
did.
all these
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
all these things. You finally, like, everybody's story is like, okay, like,
Yep.
and
Wrapped
good or
up.
bad, like, you finally get to see Captain America yielding Thor's hammer.
Yep.
You get to see, like, and then you finally get the Avengers assemble, and you're like, it was amazing. And I remember, like, the whole theater went ape shit.
Well, and you
And-
also get Chris Evans, like, gets to live his life with Agent Carter.
Yes. Oh my
Right.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about this before, but I like to talk about it whenever I can because it was hilarious. Okay. So Endgame came out like a week or two before my due date with Lincoln.
Oh,
And
right.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'll be damned if I'm going to miss this movie. Like, I'm sorry. This is our Star Wars. This is our cultural event
I agree.
movie.
Yeah.
So, like, there was no way I was going to not go see it because I'm sorry. If I just had a newborn baby, it's going to be months before I can feel comfortable enough to go see a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I was just like, you know what? If I go into labor, I go into labor. I'm finishing this fucking movie.
That's awesome.
And I can, when I tell you that I sobbed,
yeah.
like, at the end when, like, it's like the prologue, everybody
Yep.
gets their closure.
Yep.
Like, Tony's funeral, ruined me.
Yeah.
But then when you see Captain America dancing with Peggy, I just remember I was just like,
Dude, I know, but it's like a
just the
payoff that
silent, just
started
like-
from the first film. So yeah, no, Chris Evans, like, dude, there's no one, you cannot, Anthony Mackie is fucked because,
Yeah.
and it really sucks because he'll be his own Captain America and they've written tons of stories of Falcon being Captain America, but like Chris Evans brought that character to life. And he's, I don't know. I think the cinematic universe is technically screwed because you can't build as well as you've done in the past now. And I think Chris Evans said, and you might spoil it here, but that he did sign on for a couple more, even though they said he was done. So,
well, I mean, they could easily go to any time period and you watch him fight bad guys. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
anytime, because he was frozen. He gets to the now, but then he goes back in time to live his life out with Peggy.
Yeah,
so at
what did,
any
right? What did he do during that entire time? Yeah.
you can watch his whole timeline. So like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I would watch a movie of him putting all the stones back, of like having him to like
yeah, that
try
would
and
be
sneak
cool.
them back
Yeah.
in.
That would be fun.
I honestly though, as far as Anthony Mackie being Captain America, I think that he will do okay because
Yeah.
Falcon's character is not Steve Rogers. And
No. Very
in
different
the comics,
characters. Yep.
they very much make a point to be like, well, Steve Rogers, and he'd be like, I'm not Steve Rogers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
you're right.
I'm curious to see where this is going to go because obviously you're still going to have like the American way, but in the American way of like, we're all one nation.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm curious because I think he's a good Falcon.
No. Oh, yeah. What about Captain America?
I'm curious to see how he does as Captain America.
Yeah.
'Cause
I liked Captain America and Falcon, the TV show. Some people didn't like it, but I thought Anthony Mackie showed a lot of promise in that TV show. So
I liked it. I thought that some stuff in the episodes was like, why are we watching an entire episode where they fix a boat?
Oh, it's COVID.
Like-
I mean, we had the COVID shit through all that writing and stuff like that. But
I really didn't think it was that bad of a show.
yeah, I agree. So after he finishes this, what is Chris Evans up to? What does he
His
do after
next
this?
movie is the Red Sea Diving Resort.
I have
That's a
never
big
heard of
no.
that.
No? Did you
Sorry,
see
buddy.
Knives Out?
Yes.
Oh, sure did. I was
And it's
waiting
a
for that one.
That's a great character that he plays in
Yeah.
that one. And I think this was like, I want to do something different from what I've had to do the last 10 years.
Isn't his name Ransom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ransom Drysdale.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you've never seen this movie before, skip together like 3 minutes because I'm going to at length talk about it. I think that having him going from being America's good guy to the bad guy in this movie was a very smart choice for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because his character is still handsome, he's likable, he's interesting, but then he turns on you and now he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think that number one, I wish I could afford that fucking sweater that he wears in that movie because it's designer and it looks comfy as hell.
That's
but
awesome.
I love that movie. I think it's great. I think it's really well written. I think that if you're a mystery fan, you should watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And that movie's a banger.
It's like a modern day Clue.
Totally.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
His character is written. I'm sorry. The detective Daniel Craig's character is written to be a Columbo, a Poirot, but also Angela Lansbury. Like all of them together. His character is a really interesting detective. I think it's written so well.
Yeah, I agree. I think this was, like you said, Amanda, a perfect bounce back for doing, Captain America for all those years.
Oh, yeah.
And also kind of like still being an integral part of the story, but not being like in the limelight
Yeah.
or like not being in the
that's
spotlight
true.
is what I mean.
Honestly, I wonder if it was what's the word I'm trying to find? Like I don't know. But he'd gone from working on these movies where the whole set is CG.
Yeah.
And then he goes to this movie where it's like a very small, they're in a house, he's in a
practical.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's hardly any special effects at all.
Right.
So I wonder if it was like nerve-wracking or anything like that.
Who directed this?
Probably relaxing.
Ryan Johnson.
Oh, the guy that did the second Star Wars Jedi. Shoot, what's it called?
I don't know.
The one everyone hated.
He's having his
The
moment
Last
right now.
Jedi?
Yeah, the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He's having what?
He's having a moment right now because Glass Onion came out, and now
Yeah.
he's doing a show with Natasha Lyonne called Poker Face.
Oh, that's right. I saw a
yeah.
trailer for that.
Yep.
Yeah, like the first episode just dropped or something like that.
Okay.
So he's having a moment, but he did say that he liked the idea of doing a Knives Out mystery with Muppets.
No. I will not watch it.
That's funny.
I will
I would-
boycott it.
I will
That's
be the
awesome.
first in line at the fucking movie theater if I get to see Kermit, Miss Piggy, and fucking the Swedish Chef solve crimes with yes, with Benoit Blanc. I would be obsessed.
No.
No.
Okay. Next, he did 8 episodes of a show called Defending Jacob on Apple TV.
Oh, see, dude, I have never seen, except for Ted Lasso, I have never seen any Apple TV stuff.
Yeah. And then he was in Free Guy
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
as Chris Evans.
Yep. I
finally
forgot
saw
about
it.
his little
Movie.
cameo in that.
I
Did you like
love
it?
that. I love that movie.
It's so good.
It's
was
really
great.
good.
I
It's
did not
really
expect it. I expected it to be stupid. I expected it to be like pixels.
good. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, because it came out in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think everybody was like, yep, most of the stuff that's came out during
Honestly,
COVID has been shit.
I
so
think this is the movie that made me go like, I kind of like Ryan Reynolds.
yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I'll buy the hype
Yeah.
on Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I loved that movie. See, I tried to make.
What was Chris Evans' cameo in that one? Like, what did he do? Do you remember?
I thought he was just like himself as a like NPC walking around the game,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but I don't remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to make Lincoln. I put it on because Lincoln and I were going to watch it, and he wasn't interested. But then I don't know. I was like, let's watch Detective Pikachu instead. So we watched that the other night.
Fair. Still Ryan Reynolds.
I know.
Right. Next, he was in Don't Look Up, uncredited.
Oh, I don't remember what his character was, but I enjoyed the film.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's the main story is just there's an asteroid. It's coming to kill planet Earth, and no one cares because we're so addicted to social media and everything else in our life. We don't take it seriously. Yeah.
I remember the ads kind of looked like a less slapsticky modern day Idiocracy.
I would say it's pretty close to that. Yeah, it has those feels.
Next, he was the voice of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh,
in Buzz Lightyear.
That's right.
Or in Lightyear.
See, and I know his voice so well because of all those other films he's done.
I thought he did a good job with the voice. Because sometimes when you hear a voice too much, you're like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I can only hear Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
Like I can't separate myself from it. But with this, like the whole time I wasn't going, oh, that's Chris Evans. That's Chris Evans.
Chris Evans could have got a lot of shit though because Tim Allen was Buzz. So
sure.
like
I was one of the people who at the beginning was like, why is the voice different at all?
Sure.
It shouldn't be different.
Until you see the story.
And then you understand that the Buzz Lightyear Tim Allen character is like a cartoon version of the real story.
Right.
And so you're like,
it's the toy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that movie was that bad, but I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. Feel bad.
You know
Sorry.
what? Don't waste your time on it. Watch Strange World instead, because I think it's a very similar idea, but I think that's better.
Anyway, that's what Ash was saying. They were just trying to watch that recently. So
I wouldn't say they're a similar idea.
interesting.
I guess to
Ooh,
me,
divisive ideas about ideas.
I think that where my similarities lie is it's a space thing where they go to a new planet or world and he's got to navigate the new stuff. Like that's where I equate it.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe I'll watch both and decide for myself.
You watch both.
Yeah.
Have your own opinion. Okay, his next movie is called The Gray Man.
What is it
looks
about
like
aliens?
Netflix.
Wasn't that? Yeah, I mean that's newer.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I do remember this trailer. Is it
I've
like
seen the
action?
trailer.
Like
yeah.
action?
CIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Next, he has some things coming out. None of them involve the Avengers.
Dang.
His next movie is
Interesting.
called Ghosted.
Okay.
Another one called Pain Hustlers.
Ooh.
One called Red One.
Okay.
And then an untitled Gene Kelly film.
You know, it's cool because he just gets to branch out and try new things now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that a lot.
Like he's paid
Yeah.
his dues now and he can
yeah.
go
And he
do
did
what
it
he
early
wants.
in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like he still has another 30 years of acting if he wants.
Yeah, because how old was he when Captain America came out? He was 30.
In his 30s.
He
Yeah.
was 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So now he's got from 40 on to 70 probably if he wants. Because most actors
Yeah.
work until they're about 70. So
I wonder if he'll be one of those heartthrobs continually.
who would you say is a heartthrob?
Oh my
that's a
God!
little
Could you
older,
imagine
though?
him as a silver fox?
Right? Like a George Clooney.
Is he going to be like a oh my God, who's in Pretty Woman? Richard Gere.
Gere.
Is he going to?
I don't
into
think he's that
role?
handsome.
Well, a lot of ladies would disagree with you.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Richard Gere looked like when he was 30.
It probably looks good.
I think he
But
looks
so did
almost the same.
So did Robert Redford. Ladies
could see-
like Robert Redford.
I could see Chris Evans being one of those actors that falls into the later in life action movies,
Yeah.
almost Indiana Jonesy kind of.
Sure, absolutely.
Which I mean,
Is he
I'd
going to
watch
be
it.
like Nicolas Cage?
yeah, but I think he'll end up more like Sean Connery, who ends
I
up
can see that.
not needing to work but picking the ones he finds interesting.
Richard Gere at 30 looks like Miles Teller.
He does look like Miles Teller. I've never
Oh
realized
yeah,
that. But
I
you're
hate
right.
that guy.
I know you really don't like Miles Teller.
I don't like him. He has a punchable face.
So, dude, can we applaud Chris Evans? This is the first time in a long time that we've done a street cred where I'm like, bravo, bro.
Yeah.
Good
Dude,
filmography.
I have to say though, he jumped right in.
Oh, shit,
There was
yeah.
none of this crap. He did one G-rated film that was rated a 4 something.
Yeah, and one little TV
And then
series.
everything else was better from there.
Yeah.
He just shot up.
And it's been a peak. And I would I would say he went to the mountain and now he's just plateaued, but he's not going down. You know what I'm saying? He's just
Yeah.
let's
I
just
think
ride
as
this
long
wave
as
now.
as long as he doesn't have some freaky sex scandal, I think he'll be kind of like the new George Clooney, like you said, Ash.
Yeah.
Like
He's so
kind of like
he's so perfectly like boy next door,
Yeah.
but like still confident and not like boy next door but bad actor, but you like him anyway just because he's cute. You know what I
Sure,
mean? Like
yeah.
he's a good actor and
Yeah.
he's the boy next door.
True.
I think he'll continue to be just generically relevant.
Yes.
And so yeah, I mean, and he's obviously shown out of Marvel that he can at least pick interesting projects
Yeah.
and that he can deliver.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
do I think he's ever going to like win an Oscar?
Probably
Maybe
not.
later in life.
Yeah, I would
but
say later in life when he does like a
Maybe
heavy,
like a Leonardo DiCaprio scenario
Yeah.
where like he never wins
Yeah.
and then finally you're like, okay.
You're probably right because Leo's is Leonardo DiCaprio in his 50s yet? Is he 50 or is he like?
I think
40,
he's 51.
51. That's crazy, dude. So,
He's
dang.
48.
48.
Oh.
So
I know he's recently been spotted with a 19-year-old model.
Ugh,
Yeah.
wild.
he
That's
keeps doing
yucky.
that.
That's yucky.
Do what you
That's
want to do. Say what
yucky.
you want to say. So I got a question for you, ladies, and you know what it is. What Chris Evans movie are you watching soon? Are you rewatching or are you getting a new one?
Okay, I am going to watch Civil War
Okay.
and Winter Soldier because
Nice.
I don't think I have seen them enough.
Sweet.
Because for you to say that one's your favorite,
It is by far my number one. Yes.
and I couldn't tell, I can remember certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you what the majority of the plot is.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So I definitely want to go back and watch that. I think I have been wanting to rewatch Knives Out recently, so I'll probably watch that again. I think that you guys should watch Sunshine.
I think I
Sure,
think that's on
yeah.
my list. I want that. I want to see that one, and then I might even go back and see like some of his old like Perfect Score or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I
think
haven't seen Snowpiercer.
Oh,
I think I saw.
Damn,
I came
girl.
in when Andy was like finishing it,
You
so I
need
saw
to
the very
watch it.
end of it. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in its entirety.
It's good.
And then I'm kind of curious about The Gray Man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up watching the probably Snowpiercer. I fucking love that movie so much. And then I wanted to check out The Iceman.
Yeah, The Iceman. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if people are fans of Chris Evans and they want to talk to us about their favorite movies, or if it was on the list and we didn't see it, where can people do that?
Come check out our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. We also have a Patreon where you can support the show for $3 a day. Get your exclusive episodes. But that's it. I don't know.
All right, awesome. Ash, thank you so much for reading Chris Evans' filmography.
Oh, Donata.
Donata tomorrow? Or was that
That's
thank you?
manana.
Oh,
Donata means
Wow.
like it's nothing.
Wow,
Okay.
wow.
guys, thank you so much for listening to the Real Awkward Podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye.